I'm Herm Gailey. We're here today to talk on a pretty specific subject, and that is the differing roles of hand and leg aids. There's a certain overlap, but there's also a tendency to use the hands for a purpose that really should be reserved for the legs. To explain, a lot of people tend to try to move their horse forward with their hands. I'll give you a couple of quick examples. Marshall Dillon, if we can go back in time, when he wanted his horse to turn and he wanted it to move that way, he went, "Yeehaw!" and he whipped him around and off he went. And his horse would take off. But my word, it was ugly. With all due respect to Marshall Dillon, it was not pretty to watch. And it certainly built in a stiff horse. If you watch those old movie horses, they were about as stiff and braced as you can get. Instead, you would shape your horse with your hands and then move him with your legs. The motion comes from your legs. The shape of the motion comes from your hands. Your hands don't create motion. So you would start your horse, bump, and go. Start your horse, bump, go. And you can see he's really not being bad, but he's turning and sort of shutting down. So if I want to go forward, I'm not going to do anything with my hands. I'm going to turn and get on out of there. And the next time, he'll be more alert. That's one place that you see hands overused, as if they were to create motion. I'm going to show you another example. I'm going to do it on a relatively fast lope and show you what people tend to do. And I confess, I could probably look back at a couple of videos I did and catch myself doing this because it's easy to do. So you're loping along and you want to speed up. So what we tend to do is you'll see people go like this. Now he is moving faster, but it's not because of me flapping like a chicken with my arms. It's because I'm driving with my legs. And that whole hand thing really just looks ugly. What you want to do, hold your hand steady. If you want to go faster, drive your horse forward, but keep your hands just moving enough to mirror the motion of your horse. Now, your hands are effective to stop, but so are your legs. I'm going to roll my seat, hold my rein steady, and let him stop. What I didn't do is jerk him in the ground and try to stop him forcefully. But your reins, your hands will diminish motion or stop your horse. If I take the slack out here and I let my legs hang, kind of like they wouldn't work. If they're just hanging here like they've gone numb on me, and I go like that, he'll still stop. Because your hands are effective and useful to retard motion. The other place, and probably the only place that your hands can create motion, is in going backward. There, if you go to your stop position and then add to it, your horse should go backwards. And if I'm just sitting there with no leg on him, he should still go backward. That is not to advocate for not using your legs when you go backward, but your horse should back up off your hands alone. Now, to sort of demonstrate this a little further, I'm going to position this horse here, and I'm going to ask him to stand still. And then I'm going to ask him to turn around. Now, what I'm not going to do is try to initiate that turnaround with my hands. Because you see that little bit of antsiness he's got? That can come from your horse triggering off your hands instead of waiting for you to back up your hands with your legs. So there's some very successful trainers who believe, move your hand, your horse should get underneath your hand and follow it. And then you use your legs, but the hand starts the motion. Works for some folks, doesn't work for me. So what I want to do is be able to stand here, have my horse in the bridle, but not moving around. And if he wiggles, then I'm going to wait him out. And I may even wait till he stands and then walk him forward. Now he's being pretty good. But what I want to do then, suppose I put my hands in the turn position. Okay, I've just moved them over to where they would be to turn him. He hasn't shifted more than a little, but he's aware of that. I want to be able to do that without having him jump the gun. But when I need him to turn, I'll shift my hands and then I'll bring my legs into play, and you should be able to start a turn. Right from a standstill. And he should go back to a standstill and stay there. And see, he's saying, we're going to do that again, we're going to do that again. He's not being bad, he's just trying too hard. I don't want him to feel like he has to overachieve. When I need him, I'll call on him. So you want to be careful not to inadvertently use your hands for a purpose that they're not well suited for. Use your hands to shape motion or to stop it. Use your legs to create motion and also to control the various parts of your horse's body, and your results will be better. Thank you.